Welcome to another episode of Shapes and Forms. My usual co-host, Trevor Whatever, will hopefully be joining us shortly. In the meantime, I would like everybody to welcome to the show for the first time, QueenHellcat. Yes. And then, hopefully, people will trickle in a little bit as we get going here. Looks like it's showing up okay. Alright. Go as the Marine. And we will get started. How much Gungeon have you played? Okay. Yeah, I, way back, like a solid year ago now, I managed to, oh darn it, the controls have all been reset to the defaults for some reason. I managed to get all the way down to I beat the game twice with, two of the characters. But I have yet to beat it with the other two. Controller by names. Yeah, this is all messed up again. That's annoying. I have to do this real quick. I think that is fine. Yes. I wonder why that reset. That's weird. But, yeah. It's an interesting little game. Or it's Isaac, which seems to be like the eternal one. Yeah. That and just for whatever reason, that's the one fan community that's stuck around. Like even I know, what the heck was it called? Dead Cells, the one that was kind of like roguelike Castlevania that came out earlier this year. I know the community for that's already kind of dying, and that game's technically not even out yet. It's still in beta, I think. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's one of those games that, like, I was looking into for a while, but then before I got the chance to actually buy it, the community kind of dried up, and I was like, well, do I want to be playing this if nobody else is? And, you know, one of those things. Who are you playing as? Ah, it's still downloading. Okay. I like exclusively play as the Marine at this point because the two other characters I actually really like. I beat the game with them already. Oh, I think this is new. I beat the game with them already, and then the convict, who is the fourth character, I just kind of don't understand. What is this thing? The Star Pew. Charge sequentially for more shots. Interesting. I believe that is a Stardew Valley reference. So, Gungeoning aside, how are you doing on this slightly cloudy day? At least it's cloudy where I am.
It's cloudy where I am too.
Where are you based, actually? I don't think I've ever asked.
I'm in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
The closest you get.
Yep. But, that's fairly near me. I live in Chicago. So. But,
I was in Michigan. But I moved here to live with my boyfriend.
cool. I actually moved here to live with my girlfriend. So, same hat, as they say. But, oh, did it? I don't think I even knew that that was, like, a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know it until just yesterday.
Huh. I own the first game of that. I don't think I ever finished it. It was a good game, though.
I think I forced it, but I didn't finish it.
One of the...
Co-op some of it, and then when I moved out, I didn't hang out anymore.
It's one of the, like, better roguelike... Or not roguelikes, Metroidvanias, yeah, in recent years. Different genre of video game named after a specific video game. The Gatling Gull. I do not know, like, anything about that franchise. What is Darksiders?
It's essentially Legend of Zelda.
Oh.
But the first one is literally like Legend of Zelda, but the actual combat is more close to like Devil May Cry.
Huh.
But it's essentially the same thing. A lot of puzzle focused dungeons and stuff. And then what was it? The sequel was more of the same, but it had more of a Diablo-like setup because you had randomized equipment.
Interesting. I might have to check that out sometime. Sounds neat.
But yeah, originally they were going to get a sequel because the company that made it got dissolved.
Huh. I am dead already. That's embarrassing. Well, let's try again here. But, yeah, that sounds neat. When you say that it's like Zelda, I assume you mean more like the 3D games, or...
Yeah, it's more like Ocarina.
Okay. I'm actually, like, not super familiar with the Zelda series either, because, my family didn't really do Nintendo stuff until the Wii came out, so we missed, like, all of the GameCube and all that stuff. Well, I had a Game Boy and a DS, but that's kind of a different thing. Sort of a different console ecosystem. But, it sounds neat. Kind of kicking myself now, because I actually remember seeing, it's like a few months ago, the first one was on sale for like $2 or something ridiculous. I don't remember where that was, but I do remember seeing it somewhere. I also always get it confused with the Darkstalkers series, which is, to my understanding, very, very different. I believe that's a fighting game of some kind. Darkstalkers.
Yeah.
It's like the one with the succubus lady, amongst other characters. Well, I guess that's one way to do something. I am, like, horrendous at fighting games, but I always do think that they're interesting. Yeah,
I think most competitive games.
I have a friend actually who's like really, really into fighting games, and she's always like, "Oh no, it's like pretty easy. You need to put in the practice and put up with losing like a lot." But that's the thing with me is like, you know,
It involves too much muscle memory, and like my phones have been done by turn-based RPGs.
uh, I am mostly like a roguelikes and grand strategy kind of girl, and occasionally something else like a Magic the Gathering arena is filling my like card game niche at the moment. Hello, bird. I see you in the chat. The knife shield. How are you today, bird? Nikki doesn't type.
I type.
You are doing a type, yes.
A type.
Yes.
One singular type.
A single, all-inclusive type.
A lone typist.
You've been super good. That's good to hear. That would be like a great premise for a really dumb video game. Is like, it's the Old West, but instead of instead of guns, it's typewriters. I don't even know how that would work, but I'm sure there's something somebody could do there.
It's just it's us typing.
Yeah,
Typing game.
you make it like one of the one of those typing sim games.
You just every so often literally about to go shoot a zombie.
Yeah. You know what though? The funny thing is, I think that would actually do well in like a admittedly very narrow, but a specific niche. There's a certain kind of person that really does love those sort of typing arcade games, for lack of a better term. Because I know Typing of the Dead still has a fandom, which is crazy for a game that's like over 15 years old, I think.
I like stuff similar to that. This is when it's word breaker and it's a turn-based RPG where you select words and the words that you build decide how much damage you get.
That sounds neat.
It's kind of like
Oh, the old,
I really like typing games.
the old,
So of the genre that like
by Bookworm, you mean the old PopCap game.
yeah,
I haven't thought about Bookworm in a long time.
that's one of my mom's favorites.
Yeah, my mom also had a PopCap account and would let me on there sometimes. I played a lot of, like, blackjack, which was probably not a great thing for a small child to be playing, but I haven't played it basically since, so...
My mom would work as a secretary and she'd nothing to like because it was a contracting company. So like the entire time she was there she would be playing Shapeshifter.
Huh. Which one was that?
I never played Perfection.
The board game?
Yeah, the board game.
With, like, the little pieces and stuff?
Yeah, the little yellow pieces would come in, and then if you don't get them all in time, you turn them
Yeah.
and then it launches the pieces everywhere.
Yes, okay. I have, in fact, played that.
It's like that, but then like the board exploded because you didn't get them in time. There's these sliding panels that go across the screen, and that's you take your pieces and you slot them into the holes.
Huh.
I don't remember the point of it.
You know what? I think I do vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of it. It was
But-
lapse.
Yeah, but like it's been such a long time. I was also really into the one. It was like a Breakout clone, but there were these really like in retrospect, extremely 2000s, like futuristic graphics. Like your paddle was this weird little car thing. I don't remember what that was called. I want to say it was called like Ricochet or something. Popcat. Gosh. Oh, the one with the balloons.
Yeah.
That one was also good. Zuma, I actually used to own a physical copy of. Yeah, that was one of those games that, for whatever reason, and I guess this is just kind of indicative of its nature, but, like, a good 5, maybe even closer to 10 years after it had been, like, a hit digitally, I started seeing physical copies at like the Dollar General for $5, and I just bought one the one day. I also found a copy of Luxor that way, which was an extremely similar game, just more of an Egypt theme instead of a Mayan one. Oh, what are you playing against? Yep, that's the one. That is the one that is annoying.
Just the first turn, it's gonna get so much health.
Huh. I found another NPC to rescue. Ah, yes, I have seen. Yeah, I've seen this deck before. Yeah, they get 1 health, and the creature gets a 1/1 counter. I have seen that deck, or at least a similar one before. It's like mono white life gain aggro nonsense. Granted, I've been playing Grixis Control recently, so I suppose I can't talk. You should take a look at, like, hold on, I have a thought. It'll complete in a second. Tapped Out. That's the name of the Magic the Gathering deck building website. If you like go and look for stuff that is standard format, you will find things that you can build in MTGA. But of course, that is your decision at the end of the day. That's fine too. I am very much more of the, like, I like the deck building almost as much as the game itself kind of person. So, like, I think the day after I got the beta code, I traded in one of my wilds for Nicol Bolas the Ravager, and I made a blue-black-red deck around it. And I've been kind of rolling with that since then. Ah! I don't like this enemy. It scares me. I like the one that's just like play 40 lands. Because you can do that basically by accident. Ooh, do I want the Mahogany? Should probably buy more health. Really. Yeah, that sounds about right. uh, so did you play Magic at all before you got MTGA, or are you new to the
Yeah.
game in general?
I've been playing. I played it since like Yu-Gi-Oh was like really popular. I did Magic the Gathering instead.
Okay. I actually did play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh back in like the early to mid 2000s. I even entered a children's tournament once and won. I won like $50 in 10 packs or something, I think. It was at like a little hole in the wall game shop back where I used to live, which I don't think is there anymore, but yeah. It was fun. I don't think I've been in a card game tournament since, but you know. I feel like a basketball player talking about how his glory days were in college. Hmm. Hmm.
Still, my friends is actually flying
If it doesn't have trample, why are you even playing it? You know what I mean? I also like green. I like all the colors, really.
I prefer green, but the trample reminds me of a lot of reds.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's actually pretty good. The normal story.
Oh, the one that's like play X amount of black or red spells or whatever it is. They actually give you a black blue one a little bit later on. I don't know if you've gotten that one yet.
No, I haven't used that in this game.
Okay. Yeah, the oh, I'm dead. Whoops. But yeah, the unlockable decks that you get after playing for a little bit are pretty good. The only thing I don't like about them is that they run a lot of like cards where there's only one copy or only two copies. And in general, in Magic the Gathering and in most card games in general, really, you want to be playing as many copies of something as you can get away with, just for consistency's sake.
Just stomping until I can get murder. Because I can't do anything about it.
Who hasn't been there in life?
No, I'm just waiting to be murdered.
Yeah, you know. It's a very common situation. Hmm. And we're rolling. Got a green chest down there.
Level 17. I just got murdered. Yes.
There you go. And that's why they call them answers.
I got nice. Nice.
I almost never have anybody actually use the emotes at me, except like occasionally, uh, good game at the end of a match, which I can never tell if it's sarcastic or not.
No, I always get like good game like 3 turns before it's actually over.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've been guilty of occasionally doing that too, because I'll think that I have, like, some way to finish off my opponent, but I actually don't because I'm bad at video games and card games alike.
And then there's just like 48 flying. Double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible.
Oh, the one, Angel.
Zatalma, primal dawn.
Yeah. Oh no, the dinosaur one.
Yeah.
It's like a pterodactyl. I have that card actually. I should use it for something at some point. I think you get it in one of the starter decks. I do see a lot of like dinosaur tribal decks, like
Still until I get my second or third burger.
especially red green.
Oh, wait, what's indestructible? I can't burn it.
Yeah, I forget how you deal with indestructible. Well, you either counter them while they are being cast, like with disallow or something like that. But if you're playing mono black, you don't have that.
I'm getting GG'd before it's even over.
Uh,
Like, I hate that.
do you have the one that puts like minus counters on other creatures?
So, well, I don't have very many. Not need them, at least.
Right. I don't remember if that would actually do it or not, but I figured if you happened to have it on you, it was worth a shot. I'm getting gattled at by this Gatling Gull. There we go. Let's see. I'm just gonna go down to the next floor. We're going down, down, baby. Your place in a Range Rover.
In a few minutes, you're going to have to get up and start making a cake.
Baking a cake.
Yeah.
Who?
I am. I'm starting to make a cake right now.
Can I have some?
No.
Why not?
Really be bad format there.
Oh no, it's real easy. You just send some through the router.
Through the router.
Yeah. Internet.
Start matching it.
Yeah. Yeah. Internet cake transfer protocol.
I'll have some milk to it too because we know that routers only run slow because they're also efficient.
That's the truth. Bake me up a cake. Do do. I was gonna start singing "Break Me Off a Piece of That Kit Kat bar," but that's like completely the wrong kind of confectionery. Cake and Kit Kat bars are very different.
That's also nowhere close because I'm making a strawberry one.
Yeah, that's like even farther away.
Just waiting for that butter to soften. Have you ever gotten like onto like weird kicks of like being interested into obscure things?
Yes. That is like a solid half of my life, yes.
Well, I found a new
Okay.
love.
Go on.
Every Saturday morning, you wake up to go watch cartoons, and you just be really annoyed because you have to sit through the commercials because you always woke up too early.
Yeah.
Well, my new thing is watching Disney commercials on YouTube And it's really embarrassing because
I
you see
I
that,
actually have done that too, although not recently.
but like some of the products are really good.
Yeah, you gotta buy a box of Reese's Puff cereal.
No, I mean like
Advertised.
canteen stuff,
Oh, okay.
appliances, like single-use appliance kind of stuff.
Okay, like, actually, funnily enough, on my, whoop, I fell into a pit. On my, personal server, we occasionally do group watches of things.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, like, anime or something like that. But the one day I was really bored, so I just pinged everybody, and we ended up watching a live stream of a Japanese infomercial network, and they were selling this thing. It was like a disc that you, or like a cylinder that you used to massage your back. It was kind of confusing, to be honest with you, but that was a fun day. Which, the fact that I think that it was says a lot about me.
The one that I watched recently is I watched the Reset Bake or something like that. With Captain Mitchell or something like that. The one who made the ramen noodle cookbook.
Okay. Huh.
Have you seen the ramen noodle cookbook?
I have not, but I feel like I can intuit what it's about from the title.
It's called Ramen Joy.
Huh.
It's very close to Almond Joy.
Yes.
And it's a cookbook filled with desserts and dinners, lunches, and breakfasts that you can make with the main ingredient being ramen noodles.
Desserts.
Desserts.
That sounds culinarily confusing.
It sounds awful.
Yeah, that too.
My favorite part is where she makes a mandarin salad, and she's like, "You
Ooh.
can make a delicious mandarin salad," and then hangs over to her like taking just a bowl of unseasoned ramen.
Ooh.
You gotta
Ooh.
love that crunch.
I'm not. I'm not on board with that.
I'm sitting here, not even the crunch, Kathy. Not even the crunch at all. But
You have to love that crunch.
the reset bake or something like that is this like frying pan skillet thing with like another one on top of it, and you close it like a lid,
Uh
and
huh.
it basically heats from both sides
Interesting.
to cook your food in like half the time.
Okay. So,
A really neat idea. Like I actually want one. And it's just funny seeing her like throw in these weird things because it's got to be wider than like strips and it's just capsules and she's like making corn dogs or junk in it.
oh
So her corn dogs are coming out as capsules.
no, I died again.
But yeah. And another one I just watched was Jiffy fries. It's this kind
Jiffy
of
fries.
and you
Oh, I've heard of those actually. It's like a little.
potato in it.
Yeah.
You slam it down and it puts the frying principle in there, and then you microwave it, and the fries come out perfectly crispy without having to fry them. I personally hate unitaskers. I love to cook a lot, but I absolutely cannot stand unitask appliances.
Unitaskers being things you can only use for one task.
Yeah,
Okay.
unitasker appliances are the worst thing ever because like they may do this one thing mediocre. They, let's say they do it great. It's doing one thing great. That's it. You can't use it for anything. If it's like, sure, you got this neat egg sandwich maker, but what if you want to have an omelet instead? It's annoying. It's a bunch of clutter, and no one has enough kitchen space for all the unitaskers in the world.
My aunt Donna owns a. She is like reasonably well off. She's on like the board of directors for an insurance company or something. Um, Credit company, not insurance company. And she owns a lot of like as seen on TV stuff. And I remember this one thing she bought. It's this like plastic tube, and somehow I'm not entirely clear like on what the machinations are at work with this thing, but somehow it makes like boiled eggs. Like you put the egg in one end, you leave it for a little bit, and then you come back and it'll be boiled. It's a strange little device, and to be honest with you, I'm slightly scared of it.
There was this one I saw where it looks like it's a flashlight, and you dump the egg in one end, and you wait a few minutes, and after it's warmed up, it spews out into the egg. It's just like one long tube made out of egg.
That just
It's
like
egg in the advertising.
yeah, like I'm sure it works fine, and I'm sure that what comes out in that tube form is perfectly edible, but like
Like, why wouldn't
it's
take
just
that same egg, put it in a bowl, and microwave it for like 2 minutes? You get the same result faster.
and you don't have a weird egg tube. Yeah.
But, like, the fried one is one I actually ordered, but, like, I know, because I actually eat a lot of potatoes, like, half my diet is potatoes.
I also eat a fair amount of potato products.
I really shouldn't because potassium messes up blood tests, but I really like potatoes. So, like, I would actually get a lot of use out of the product, but it's so hard to justify, like, having even just one of those things lying around because it's such an unnecessary clutter.
There's probably like this was something that my mom believed, and I've inherited that belief from her. I don't know how true it is, but like for a lot of those one-use appliances, there's usually something you can do with just like regular appliances that will accomplish like a similar or nearly the same task. You just kind of have to figure out what that is.
I can't really think of any more off the top of my head. There's some other ones like, do you watch much cooking TV?
I like no, but not out of a lack of interest. We don't have cable.
Alright, yeah, so you should check out the show, Kitchen Cook-Off or something like that. I can't remember the exact name. It's hosted by Alton Brown.
Okay.
It's a competitive cooking show where they get 4 chefs in, and they get like $15,000, $25,000 apiece, and they use that cash to bid on certain modifiers to the challenges that make things harder or easier for competitors.
Interesting.
So they get all this money, but they only get the money that they have left at the end of the cook-off.
Huh.
So there's 4 rounds, and they do all kinds of stuff. Like there was someone who had to prepare like an English breakfast using a sandwich maker as their cooking surface.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard of this show.
It's really funny, but it's just out there, and it's like sometimes you'll get chefs on there, and you'll be sitting there screaming at them like, "What the hell are you doing?" It's like they've never had like these chefs have always had like great kitchen. They've never even had to work with anything different before.
Yeah. Like. Oh. Whoops. Like, oh well, I have to take the witch pistol. It's like part of my brand. Anyway, like we're in a situation in my apartment right now where we like don't own a spatula. So we're going to buy a spatula. We just forgot to the last time we were at the store, and I only moved in a month ago, so it just hasn't been a huge priority, but we do plan to get one. But where I was going with this is, in order to make grilled cheese sandwiches, what we've had to do is either, like, you know, get it to flip like a pancake, or like use another pan as like a receiving pan to flip the grilled cheese back and forth over.
What an absolute waste of water. Like, thinking that must be like the biggest waste of water. Like,
We don't have a spatula though.
use a fork or something.
The forks that we do have, like, that kind of works, but they're like not quite big enough for it to be super practical. Not that the other thing I described is practical either, it's just kind of a stopgap solution until we go to Target, which I think we're doing tomorrow, but yeah. If you're wondering what this show is like, by the way, it is this, just talking about cooking while video games happen in the background. No, but we often talk about inane things that don't have anything to do with video games. That's kind of the mood. The aesthetic, the air, the ambiance.
I kind of want to set up a thing where we watch just crappy infomercials for a while. I just want to see the kind of conversations and
I would be up for that. Ruined. And then at the end when he finishes the painting, it's saved. I only watched like a very small amount of the Bob Ross Twitch stream. I wish I had watched more. Oh no, that sounds sad. I wouldn't have been able to watch this. Hello, Win. That's so sad. Oh no! But why though? The mic is fine, so I'm fine. Is there just no desktop audio coming through again? No? That's coming through. Can you say something?
Test.
It seems like you're coming through. Cause I'm looking at the volume thing in OBS, and it's the little green bars going up when you say something. Huh. Why would it be going into OBS but not through Twitch? It's not the Elgato for once. Sound audio device manager. Do keep us updated in the chat, by the way, as to whether or not you can hear her. Because the fact that you can't is very strange. Yeah, like, it's even going into the... Yeah. Is it that you actually cannot hear her at all, or is it because... Or is it just that she's, like, quiet? Because I can turn her up in Discord, I can turn Discord itself up. There are solutions to that problem. Twitch... Yeah, that's... So am I, actually. But, extremely quiet. Okay, well then what I will do is I will turn... Okay, and I will turn up Discord a little bit, and then I will turn you up in Discord also.
Okay, my input volume is actually at max, so you're just gonna turn me up.
Yeah, I turned you up to 144. Is that better in the chat?
Testing. Hi there.
I have to say Figaro at some point.
Magnifico.
Audio issues also a hallmark of my live streams in general, because there's like several sound devices on this computer and they interact in really weird ways sometimes.
You're not doing a good job of this your boss.
Hey now.
Pay you.
Hey now. Still way quiet. Okay. I will turn her up some more then. How about now?
Maybe it's maybe desktop audio's too low.
No, like, oh, you mean like the overall desktop audio volume in OBS? That could be it. I had it down a little bit earlier because
What's the decimal count at?
minus 15 right now.
Positive or negative?
In the yellow range, so negative.
I keep mine at about 19, and people are able to hear mine at just fine.
Yeah. Could have been like a combination of any of those things, because the OBS volume was down a little bit and Discord was down a little bit, and you were only at 100, like within Discord, and I usually have my co-host at like 180 or 200 or so. So it could have been like a combination of things. Still quiet. Okay, I can turn the desktop volume up more, and then I can turn Gungeon down a little bit so I don't blow everybody's ears out with video game sounds. That will hopefully be better.
I'm hungry. That was my test sound.
Me too. I agree with your test sound. Like, I'm looking at the readout and you should be coming through loud and clear, and I'm not sure why you're not.
Am I talking too quiet?
I don't think that's it. Let me unplug my headphones for a second, and I'll take a listen to the output on the stream. Okay. If you want to say something. Oh. Probably help if I actually turned the volume on my laptop. Can you give me one more? Better. Okay. Well, I guess we will have to
More
go
what?
with Oh, I was just asking you to say something, but Win says it sounds better, although still not great, but I guess we will have to roll with that for the time being.
Alright.
Very strange. Because, like, everything else, for once, is actually coming through fine. So the problem must be, like, between OBS and Twitch somehow, I guess. This is also going to render much of the first half of the VOD, like, kind of nonsensical, because it's going to sound like I was talking to myself.
Yeah, people are gonna miss all my conversations about the infomercials.
We've experienced like a great loss today. We didn't even know that until just now.
Wait, no, I'm way louder.
Now they're way okay. Like uncomfortably loud, or is that good?
Like, just maybe turn it down just a little bit. I think maybe it was because you plugged your headphones in or unplugged them or whatever.
It could be. Let me... I'll turn you down a little bit in Discord. That's always the problem, is there's like 9 different things emitting volume of some kind, and they don't always talk to each other well.
It's about time for that cake. My butter's soft.
I'm trying to decide what direction I should take a joke about soft butter, but I can't seem to think of one.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab all the stuff and try to mix it over here if I can, because we don't have a hand mixer anyway, so it's gonna take me longer.
Have fun with baking your caking.
I'll be back in a minute. I'm just bringing the ingredients over here.
Okay. Could Trey not make it? I kind of don't know what is going on with Trey. I tried to get a hold of him earlier and I couldn't. But I did let him know that if he wants to join late, he can drop in. My assumption is that something came up. Like maybe something at the radio station, I don't know. Boy, I have managed to not get farther than the 2nd floor at all today. But at least you can hear Nikki now. That was very strange earlier. I'm free to join if that's good. The only reason I don't want to say sure, like I usually do, is because then if Trey does come back, we'll have 3 guests on, which is more than I am comfortable with. But I will make sure you can get on either Shapes and Forms next week or something else next week. You know, it is kind of funny that I always had an easier time streaming off my laptop, which was very much not built for this kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know how he'd feel about that is the only thing. Like, again, if I like, knew where he was, I would say sure, but it's kind of an unusual situation tonight. hear cake occurring in the background. My co-host is QueenHellcat, aka Nikki. She is the founder of the streaming network thing that I was talking about on the server the other day. She is also a baker of cakes.
Am I just in time to explain who I am?
Yes.
Okay. My name is QueenHellcat. I'm another streamer. I'm also baking a cake. That's unrelated, though. My name is QueenHellcat. You can find me over at twitch.tv/QueenHellcat. I'm also the creator/owner of PNG, Pretty Neat Gamers, which is a transgender and non-binary live streaming community dedicated to providing support to live streamers and also the viewers by providing viewers with quality streamers that follow the TOS and have safe chats with no, shitty humor. And at the same time, providing trans live streamers with viewers that are looking for that kind of content. So, nicer people.
Yeah. Because
Basically getting the right kind of exposure that trans streamers want.
Yeah. Because, as Win, I'm sure, is well aware, we've kind of had an issue with this show.
We are not competitive with JPEG. I think, honestly, we're way better than JPEG. Less quality loss, way less compression. Just a better image.
I had to think for a second. I was like, wait, is there another group called JPEG? And then the joke hit me. I was gonna say something, and I've forgotten what it was. Oh yeah, we've kind of had an issue on my live streaming stuff in the past with occasionally getting randos who will stick around for a stream or two, but then they'll like act up, and it's just not the kind of stuff I want on my channel. And yeah, that is Win. They are non-binary and a regular viewer, a sometimes co-host, and a friend also.
I am just making a cake still, so I'm kind of like half concentrated on that.
It's okay.
I am trans female. Although I identify as trans feminine, not exclusively like trans female, because like I don't know, it's just how I identify.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also I'm demi pan, and that's pretty much it. Female pronouns. I'm like trying to talk and whisk this cake at the same time. So I'm like having to think as I'm going.
Thinking on your feet as you whisk.
But yeah, I identify as trans femme, but for the sake of simplicity, I just say I'm trans woman.
Win is informing you that they are a mod on my Discord, which is true.
I have the chat open.
Oh, you do? Okay. So you can see what they're saying.
Yeah, I figured that'd be a good idea.
I really need to set aside a day to get like the Streamlabs version of OBS running properly, so I can get like a chat.
It imports all your settings, so it only takes like an hour to set it up.
Well, I actually tried to set it up earlier today, but I was having some problems with getting like the widgets working. And I think it's because of how we have my and my girlfriend's Twitch account set up on this computer, so I'm gonna need her help for that.
No, okay.
So it's unfortunately not something I can do today.
Alright.
But I'm hoping to get it worked out on like Monday, Tuesday or so. Hopefully before Wednesday, which is when I want to stream that puzzle platformer that we got the key for.
Semblance.
Take a gander at that. Semblance, yes. I don't know why I couldn't remember what it was called, but that is the name.
Yeah, I originally ended up getting that key as part of keymailer.co's mailing list thing. Sometimes, like, they'll take streamers and stuff like that, and if you apply for codes for review copies, they'll sometimes send them to you. But, like, whether they send them to you or not, like, depends on how well known you are and stuff like that. So they couldn't provide me a Switch copy because I wasn't famous enough. And also, those got sent out like 2 weeks ago, so I totally missed my chance to get them. And I ended up getting that Steam copy, and they didn't want me to send the code back, so I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to play it. I could play it, but I wouldn't be able to stream it. It just sucks because, like, that was my first game. That was my first chance to, like, raise my rating with the company. But it's whatever.
Does kind of blow. But, I do plan to take a look at that next week. Hopefully I enjoy it. I think I will, because I'm pretty into puzzle platformers, although it's been a little while since I last played one.
I'm not really into them. I don't really like platformers, and I kind of don't like puzzle games all that much. But this one looked interesting just because of the gimmick.
What is the gimmick? Actually, like, I deliberately...
You're a little blob thing, and you manipulate your environment to get through stages.
Okay.
Like, one of the scenes they show is that there's this grid of lasers, and you go under the box, and you bend the frames of the box in order to block the lasers.
Neat.
All right, I gotta go pour this batter now.
Okay. Too many cooks, too many cooks. 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 Win, you know that dabbing is forbidden. Just kidding, I have dabbing emotes on my server. At least I think I still do. Oh, that's cool, Win. Gungeon is a good time, although it is very hard. Mega Man X collections I cannot speak to, but I'm sure those are fun too. I've just never played them, so I don't actually know. The Luxon Cannon Shades Revolver. I really think I should just buy the key. And then the rest we can put towards the Dawn key. Oh, okay. I didn't remember that you had PC Gungeon. You've probably told me before, but I forgot. Because I am a simpleton. guys ready to get demolished by the Door Lord again? Oh, it's the bomb guy. Which also means that this isn't the actual boss fight. So that's fun. Hey, were y'all aware that this video game is kind of hard? Oh, I killed it. I actually thought that I died there until the thing panned up. Panda. Oh yeah, we still got like a good half of the screen left. Okay, Snake kills them. I hear distress occurring in the background. I hope Nikki's okay.
Okay, Google. Set timer for 35 minutes.
Hey, just out of curiosity, do you have your headphones plugged in?
Alright, I'm back.
Alright, 35 minutes, starting now.
Nikki, do you have your headphones plugged in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna see if I could make your Google sing Despacito. No, I wasn't. I would never actually do that to somebody. But the concept is funny. One day, I'll find somebody who doesn't have their headphones plugged in, and that'll pay off. How's the cake making going?
It's really good. It's a strawberry cake, and I put a little bit of lemon juice in it.
Cool. My favorite.
Not much, because boyfriend hates lemon juice, lemon flavored stuff. I'm just doing it to like brighten it up and zest it a bit.
Mm-hmm. My favorite kind of cake is probably German chocolate, although I haven't had it in forever. What do they call it in most parts of the country? Black Forest cake, I think.
I don't do a lot of baking because I don't have a blender or a hand mixer. I have to do it all by hand with a whisk. So most of the time we just don't buy cake.
This is so sad. Alexa set timer for 35 minutes.
Oh yeah, a little more about PNG. Like, it sounds like it's all about the streamers, but it's every decision that I make is actually I always make sure that it's mutually beneficial, that it's not really benefiting one group more than the other. But yeah, and also it's all inclusive for people who are just looking to chat. So trans, non-binary, cisgender people, they can all join in the chat in the Discord, because my thought is that anybody can support a trans streamer, so anybody can join. But PNG representatives, though, are all trans or non-binary. So that's just because I think it was Jane that said it. I think it was you that said it. That
yeah, I've had.
And I hadn't realized that it was problematic to allow cis streamers to do PNG, because they were representing us, and I never thought about it like that. But
I wouldn't even necessarily go as far as problematic, except in like a very literal sense of the word. It just like can kind of be an issue sometimes, and it's easier to not have to deal with that.
No, it's like, especially after the Scarlett Johansson thing. Yeah, I really think we should avoid having cis people represent trans people. So, no, I saw your point there. It's just like I didn't realize it at first.
I am good at thinking. You might notice that I'm much less articulate in voice conversation than I am over text.
I think most people are, though, because when you're in text, you have time to think about what you're going to say.
I guess that's true.
I'm way more clever and more witty in text.
I am, text chain, extremely articulate, borderline genius, charismatic, voice chain, and then it's just like that picture of an anime girl sipping out of a cup, and the cup is labeled dumb bitch juice.
Dumb bitch juice.
Yep. That's me. No, but, don't they call it Black Forest cake in Germany? Maybe. I know one of the names is regional to where I used to live, and one of them is more widely known, but I forget which is which.
Alright, I'll see. I got Google right in front of me.
This is also something that happens a lot on the show, is we look something up. We are driven
Okay, I check
by
Wikipedia, not recipes.
Yeah, we're driven by our burning thirst for knowledge.
Oh, I'm just always hungry.
Me too. Extremely smirked. Let's fight the boss. It's this guy again.
It was apparently always called German sweet chocolate from the beginning, because the Baker's Chocolate Company created the cake and then named it off after the creator of the company, Baker. So it's Baker's German sweet chocolate.
Interesting.
Let me check Black Forest cake though.
Maybe Black Forest cake is something similar but slightly different. That is a possibility. I am far from an expert on foodstuffs. I just like to eat.
Like I said, I don't even freaking bake.
Bake me a cake. Bake me a cake.
Yeah, these look completely different actually.
Huh. I guess I was just mistaken. Eggs and bacon.
It's made with whipped cream, cherries, and decorated with whipped cream, more maraschino cherries, and chocolate shavings.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of. I haven't had
German
one of those in a
chocolate
long-
is that weird miscolored chocolate that's got like coconut in it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I definitely wasn't thinking of that. I'm actually allergic to coconut.
Oh.
So I guess I was thinking of Black Forest. Vortsvalder Curse Porta. Well, there we go. That's the mystery of what cake was I thinking of solved. I wish more mysteries were like that. I think if that was like the majority of mysteries in the world, we'd live in a better timeline. You know what I mean?
Where all the mysteries are just easily Googled problems. I think that would really poorly prepare us for actual problems.
No, that's what I mean, though. Like, instead of big problems, it was just like, oh no, I forgot the name of the cake. What is this thing? The Lament Configurum. I'm gonna buy it. What do you do? This puzzle box plays beautiful melodic tones as it is solved. Who knows what mysterious wonders it contains? Okay, so this is one of the ones where they're just not going to tell us what it does. Alright. I'll figure it out.
Time to Google.
Nah, I'll figure it out. That's part of the fun. I've actually had this item before, I just forgot.
Scooby-Doo would be very boring like that. Oh, and y'all are talking about the witch, witch theme. My theme on my channel is a witch too. Hellcat is actually it means witchy woman. People keep thinking that I'm referring to the World War II tank.
Oh, I would have never thought that because I don't know anything about World War II tanks. That's
Me
more-
neither. Apparently it's also the name of a tank, a personnel vehicle, and a plane.
Huh.
And people keep thinking that the name is based off of that, but no. Hellcat is based off of the other definition, meaning witchy woman, or what's the other one? I think it's bitch. I think it's something like bitch.
That sounds like the way that a man would call a woman a bitch in like the 1930s.
Have at you, you salacious hellcat.
Yeah, like that. But yeah, my assumption was just that it was the name of the character.
Thinking of a cat
in
on fire.
Banner.
That's kind of what she is. Well, she's not on fire, but I created a mascot for my channel, and Hellcat was the basis for it. I was like, oh, I'll make a cat that's a witch,
There you go.
and then the queen part of it I used as the motif for much of her design.
Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, that
Do you have
makes-
links enabled in the chat?
I think so. You can try. If not, you can DM me the link and I will post it. But I'm pretty sure I have it turned on.
I'd have to post it in the Discord anyway, real quick, so I can get a link for it. I don't want to upload it to Imager.
Okay. Wait, is that how you say that?
Imager?
I always called it Imgur.
Well, IMG is short for image.
I guess that makes much more sense than Imgur. But I just suppose I've never really thought about it before.
I've only seen it written. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Like a hellhound, but a cat. I believe that is sort of the general concept. Also, I need to plug my laptop back in. Hold on. There we go. I used to stream off my laptop once upon a time. Wasn't really made for it, but that didn't really stop me. Also, by once upon a time, I mean like a month ago. 2 months more now, but you know.
Alright, well, that pic in the chat is actually is the low-res version. That's the one that I share for unofficial purposes, just so, like, people don't steal the character.
See, I've never thought of that, so I just kind of...
I never thought of it either, but Removalism, the one who's in the chat now, the recently added PNG rep, he was the one that drew it originally. I commissioned him to do it, and like I had never heard of that before, but like he tends to be pretty protective about his art.
I see. I should like have somebody draw more witch emotes at some point. The only problem though is like I don't want to get rid of Chuck, and you only get. I see you rubbed off on me. Now I've started calling him Chuck.
Extreme trans energies in that.
But like I don't want to get rid of Charles, but they only give you 3 emote slots if you're an affiliate. I guess I could get rid of the ball. Nobody likes the ball.
I came up with the design for the character, like everything about her. I came up with the design for. Another artist drew her first, and then I commissioned Remy to do the reference sheet there. After someone else drew her a bit. I've got another picture here that's a little older, but yeah, like I tend to do that with all my characters a lot. I tend to like have pages long descriptions of what I want them to look like, so that pretty much like anyone can nail the look I'm trying to get. Let's see. I don't know which one to link. I think I'll link the blushing
because,
one.
like, if I ever want anybody else to draw my little like witch version of me, I already have a picture, so it's just like, hey, do this, but different in this way. It's convenient. I had an emote of me called Crow Witch.
And I'll post just one more pic in the chat, but that's it. I'll stop after that because I've actually got a lot of pictures I could share otherwise.
Hey Win, I just thought of a really dumb joke. Since you're NB and you're big thing is crows? Does that make you con-binary?
Con-binary.
Because crows. It's a wordplay.
Okay, last pick. The last pick there is the headshot I use for everything.
Better than using a hedgehog for everything. I guess
I
that would
don't
just
know,
make
like,
you like a...
hedgehogs are hedgehogs are cute. I could use a hedgehog for something.
They
Like,
are.
like you could design a character around hedgehogs, but it's like you have to deal with the Sonic memes, and I
Yeah.
can't deal with the Sonic memes.
Ooh, the lowercase r. My favorite. I'm still kind of annoyed that they made my automatic prefix Planet 14 instead of PJ, which seems to me like the logical thing, but
Yeah, for me it was Queen H3.
eh,
Like they kind of stop it at just Queen.
yeah, or like QH or any number of other things.
I would have preferred just HC.
Yeah, like the numeral is what annoys me more than anything.
I think I've seen one Hellraiser movie.
I have also never seen the Hellraiser films. I know that they are like they've got that guy with all the pins in his face.
Yeah.
I know that about them, and that's kind of it. What does this arrow indicate? What is going on here? Okay. We got the dark marker, which I think I've only gotten once before. What does this thing do? Fires 2 projectiles if they meet. They explode.
So, since you got this like border thing going on, like, have you thought about like adding a chat?
Like a chat box?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the first thing on the list of to-dos once I get Streamlabs working properly.
Mhm.
I want to add like at least a chat box and like sub notifications.
They
of
have
some
they
sort.
have these really cool like pre-made themes. If
Yeah, I saw
your
it.
computer isn't good, like don't go for any of the animated ones, but they have some really cool looking ones that you can work with, and like they're all pretty official looking. Like
Yeah.
they all look really professional.
Thankfully, Carrie, my girlfriend, her computer, which is the one that I'm streaming off of right now, is like pretty good. It was a purpose-built gaming computer. And it's like pretty solid. It's only a couple years old yet, and she made it to be able to play Final Fantasy XIV on like all the high settings, which I think she can do now. But yeah. So maybe I will be able to get like a cool animated one or something. Trey, my other co-host who is normally here, is actually the one that made that border, and it's actually not a border. It's a banner with the name of the show, and when I have something over it, it like makes a nice little border.
Mm-hmm. I should show you this pre-made banners site that I use. Like you can make these little banners, and it would cut away from some of the text on your stream page. Trying to remember it. It's really simple though. It's like you pick a logo, you pick a color, and then it generates the banner.
That's cool. Yeah, like I'm good as far as like what would you want to call it? static pictures. The main things I'm looking for at this point are the more like animated stuff. Like I said, like the chat box and the notification what's.
You don't have an alert box yet?
No, I like until I downloaded Streamlabs today, I was just using the really the older version of OBS Studio, which doesn't come with any of that stuff, so I've just kind of never bothered with it.
Oh, okay.
But,
See, I used OBS and then I used Streamlabs, and I used Streamlabs widgets through browser links to do it.
Like, that's what I'm planning to set up eventually. It's just like the way that we have our Twitch account set up on here makes it a little bit hard to do that, because basically we have it so that she is logged in on this computer, but I can stream like
To your channel with her
Yeah.
username.
like through her account basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine for like 90% of things, but Streamlabs wants you to be logged in like on your channel. So I have to work that out with her and figure out what we're gonna do there. But those are in the future, in the planning stages. They are a thing that will come to the channel at some point, hopefully soon.
15 minutes in cake time.
15 minutes and
Well,
cake time.
Not cake time, but I have to make the frosting.
Frosted cakes are more than good. They're great. You know, I think the Frosted Flakes jingle is the only one that still gets stuck in my head from time to time. Even though I haven't actually heard it in like a solid 10 years at this point.
I'm really hungry. I hope my boyfriend brings something from fast food or something.
Yeah, my girlfriend is getting paid either tonight or tomorrow, and I'm really hoping it's tonight so we can order some food when she gets home.
Yeah, I want him to pick up pizza. Like, he's the kind of person that, like, if you eat out at a place, like, you can't eat out at that place ever again for the rest of the month.
But why?
I don't know. It's just like he thinks he had it just recently, and I guess his palate gets bored or whatever.
Okay.
But
I
it's specifically with pizza though. So like if we had pizza last week, he won't want it this week again.
That's crazy. It's pizza.
It's a little annoying. Because we have this really good pizza place that's like right next to us, and
Yeah,
I order a vegetarian pizza like every time, and they always do like a really good pizza.
We've got two places nearby actually. We've got a place called JB Alberto's just down the street, which is carry out only, and then like a little bit farther afield we have a place called Giordano's, which is more of like a somewhat fancier like sit down restaurant.
I don't even know what ours is called. It's just ours is like walking distance, and like they do an extra large pizza for like $10.
That is a very competitive price for pizza.
Yeah, but it's because we don't have a Domino's that delivers nearby, so like no one else is gonna order anywhere else anyway.
That makes sense.
Have you heard of Toppers?
Toppers?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
it's this pizza place where one of the options is unlimited toppings.
Huh.
I don't remember how expensive it is, but like you can just put everything you want on the pizza, and it's like not a bad price.
There's a place sort of like that a bit downtown called Blaze. It's kind of like Subway, but pizza instead of sandwiches. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one run as the convict, and then I think we'll switch over to Geoguessr.
My favorite pizza place is sadly a place that's local to where I used to live, so I can't get it anymore.
Oh no!
It's called Jet's Pizza, and they have this their like main gimmick thing is that any pizza that's larger than a small medium is by default a an edge pizza, where it's not a round pizza at all. It's all rectangles,
Okay.
and it's kind of like a deep dish kind of thing. But it's they have a lot of options, and my favorite one they have is barbecue chicken, and it's chicken with barbecue sauce in place of tomato sauce, and then red onions.
Neat. I am like kind of boring comparatively pizza-wise. My favorite is like just the straight-up cheese pizza. Like,
Well, I like Philly cheesesteak too,
I,
but like nobody has Philly cheesesteak pizza anymore.
I think that Alberto's does actually. I'm thinking about it. I actually have one of their menus in here somewhere. I could check in a little bit. But yeah, I'm just like a really big fan of a good cheese pizza. And I'll eat stuff with toppings, but it's just not my preference.
Like I would eat like vegetarian and like I used to eat vegan for a while, but where we're at it's very hard to because we're not like in the city.
Right.
But for a while I was like eating vegan, and like the pizza I would always get would just be like it's an expensive pizza. It's called Daya, and like you can only get it in one place here. It's made with vegan cheese, but like it's a $10 pizza for like a thin crust, and it's just like the biggest ripoff. And it's like the other option is you have to cheat and have cheese pizza. Yeah, but what I do now is I just get I get a vegetarian pizza. Like even though like I'm eating meat again, I still get a vegetarian pizza,
like
and
the like veggie lovers kind of thing.
yeah, but it's I specifically get the kind with olives, mushrooms, and jalapenos on it,
Okay.
and nothing else. I like spicy food a lot.
I like medium spicy food. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I like stomachache spicy food, and it's it's like estrogen has like made me so sensitive to spicy food. So like I'm like writhing in pain like 3 hours after eating the pizza, but like I still want spicy food.
Don't hurt yourself now.
Every week that I go to the grocery store, I buy 4 jalapeno peppers or serranos if they have them, and I chop those up and I put them in every meal that I have.
Huh.
I eat everything spicy. It's also a good way to make sure that people don't eat your leftovers.
I guess so. I
But
like
most
like,
people I know don't like spicy stuff. Like even my boyfriend doesn't like spicy food.
I don't know. I'm like in a weird middle ground on spicy food because I feel like most people either don't like spicy food at all or they like really like spicy food.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I like a sort of like a mid-level spice. Like I don't know what I would give as a good example. Like
I eat mango habanero everything. If mango habanero is an option, I'll eat mango habanero.
I do like
and
habanero stuff.
If I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I'll always order a small order, the spiciest one, blazing, or scorpion if they've got it.
I get
and then mango habanero for flavor, or like if I'm feeling like really like I don't want a stomach ache later, I'll just have the Asian sing.
I get the what's it called? The Cajun spice at well, it's Wingstop, but I think they have mostly the same flavors as Wild Wings.
We don't have BW3s that's nearby here. We have some place called Legend Larry's, and they have a bunch of weird flavors that like you wouldn't find at other places.
Huh.
Like the one I get there is raspberry habanero.
Interesting.
It's really good because it's got like this citrusy taste to it while still being very spicy. It's kind of like it's just a weird mix of like tasting like candy and spice.
That's interesting. You have a more adventurous palate than I do, I think.
As long as it's spicy, I'll try it.
I
don't really dig sweets. I used to hate chocolate, like actually not like chocolate at all. But like that's changed on hormones too.
That is my girlfriend. She is not a fan of chocolate at all.
I didn't like chocolate, but now I get weird chocolate cravings, and It's annoying because I never buy any chocolate.
I already like chocolate, so I'm kind of afraid as to what effect HRG will eventually have on my
Yeah, it's
love of
different for
chocolate.
everybody. Like, a lot of people's diets don't change. I don't know why mine is so different.
I've heard that, but am also kind of afraid that I'm going to be the one person in a million that, like, suddenly only wants to eat some obscure or expensive food.
Oh, you should talk to Mina. She ordered 2 gallons of pickle juice.
I heard about that.
Yeah, she ordered 2 gallons. She ordered 2 gallons of pickle juice because because of the friggin' salt cravings from Spiro.
That's a lot. Just conceptually a lot.
She'll drink it. It's just like it's annoying to me. It's like such a waste of pickle juice. She could actually make pickles.
I would make pickles with that. I don't even like pickles, and I would make pickles with that just for like the novelty. You have that much pickle juice, why not?
Segue into something else pickle related. Did you know Sonic the drive-in had added pickle juice slushies to their menu?
That's fascinating.
Mina says they're very disappointing because they put sugar in them. So it's like, what's the point?
I don't understand Sonic as a company. They offer some odd things. Also, some really tasty ones. They offer it's like one of the few places where you can get chicken, like a popcorn chicken and mozzarella sticks, and those are 2 of my favorite foods. So, in the rare occasion that I'm at a Sonic's, that's what I always get. But
I haven't eaten at Sonic since I was a kid.
I've been there like 3 or 4 times in my whole life. It's one of those things where I just never seem to be near one. Like, I'm always, like, slightly near one, but there's always other stuff closer by. And especially now, with me living in the city, we order in a lot rather than going out, because DoorDash means that you can order takeout from, like, literally anywhere.
Oh yeah, Sonic does have some funny commercials.
That's been an odd thing to get used to. They have commercials with furry guys. Oh, funny guys. I thought that said furry guys.
Sorry guys, wishful thinking.
No, I'm like the one person in the PNG who's not like a full-on furry.
No, you're not. You're really not. Like,
Am
there's.
I not? I was really under the impression it was pretty much just.
Remember, I put. Oh, you probably don't remember. I made so that people have to request roles now, and the majority have been not requesting the furry role, which is really surprising because all the trans people I knew before PNG were furries.
Most of the trans people I know are also furries. I'm like one of the few who's not. And I think that it's partially only by technicality because my, like, animal character of choice is an octopus lady. But even then, I don't know. It's just, like, not something I ever had much exposure to until I started meeting a lot of LGBT people.
The reason I got involved in the furry community is because at first I just liked it for the art. Like, I was into, like, Disney and stuff like that. And then, like, as I started talking to people more, I came out as gay the first time, and that was it was a really accepting community for that. But, like, I didn't really start getting into it until just before I came out as a trans. And, like, it was through the furry community that I was able to express my more feminine side and go, like, oh yeah, this is the shit.
Yeah, I've heard similar stories from a lot of people, and that's, like, actually, I mean this in all sincerity, that's actually great for people that, like, can do that. I just never fell into those circles, I guess.
Well, it started with, like, I had a male character and I paid for art for, and then I got a female version of them, and I was like, you know, the evidence is starting to pile here.
I don't think I even, like, knew what a trans person was until I was, like, probably 16 or 17.
I didn't come out until 2 years ago.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm so old.
Nah. Like...
I'm old. I'm a hag.
No. Like, jokes aside, you're not old until you're legally entitled to the senior citizens discount at McDonald's. That's how you tell. But, also it's not, like, a legal right, so I don't know why I threw the word legally in there, but, you know. But I, like, started having suspicions when I was, like, I want to say, like, 18 or 19, and then I think I came out when I was 20, if I am remembering my timelines correctly. And it was only 2 or 3 years after that that I actually committed to wanting HRT. Which I still haven't gotten.
How old are you?
Yet. I am 24.
I knew about trans people around the time that I was like 18 because of the Tyra Banks show. A trans woman was on it, and
Okay.
you know the typical debate. You don't exist because God don't make mistakes. And my mom always said like, you look at me in the eye and you tell me that a platypus was on purpose. And that was always her defense for it.
Like
And I've since used it for myself too, because nobody ever argues that there's no way that the platypus is intelligent design.
I like platypi though.
They're cool, they're cute, but there's no way that was intelligent design. Just saying, that's my alarm. I got a couple minutes here before it actually starts to burn, so.
You can go get it. It's all cool.
Yeah, but I'm gonna lose my place if I don't keep going.
Okay.
But yeah, I started getting involved in a GSA nearby. I dropped out of high school around that time because I was struggling with my sexuality, and I got beat up and harassed and death threats and stuff like that for people assuming that I was gay. So I went to the GSA and started hanging out with people there, and my first kiss was with the trans guy there. Don't remember his name.
What is
but
a GSA?
A GSA, Gay Straight Alliance.
Oh, okay.
But met a trans mask guy there, and I don't remember his name because I only hung out with him like twice. But he was my first kiss, and then after that, it was like the first time I was like, all right, you just want to be called a guy, that's fine. And after that, I met a trans girl through streaming. Her name is Flashy Julie. We're still friends. We just don't talk all that much. And that's when I started finding out more about it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I always thought like things would be easier if I was a chick, even though there's plenty of evidence to prove otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Did your stream go off?
No, I just closed the game because we're gonna switch over
okay.
to Geoguessr in a little bit.
And then
I didn't want to interrupt you.
And then, what was it? I was with my partner, my ex-partner at the time, and I was with him for 6 years, and I ended up finding out that I didn't love him. But throughout that time, I was struggling with it, and I was just over and over again. I kept thinking about how much easier it would be if I was just born female instead. And then, like, I started talking to my mom, and it turns out that I had asked if I could be a girl if I was at 5 years old, and it was something she told me. She said, "I don't know how to handle this, but if you still feel this way as an adult, we will do something about it." And yeah, is this the Feels Challenge? And after that, it was it's then at like 25, I started meeting other trans people through like a furry friends like hangout site kind of thing, and I had dated an agender person at the time, and I was like, oh wow, like a lot of this stuff is lining up, and the puzzle is starting to come to a close here, and I can see what the picture is, and I was like, My dumbass should have figured this out sooner, and yeah. I'm gonna go get my cake now before it burns.
Okay. Yeah, just springboarding off of what she said, I remember having a lot of similar stuff, for lack of a more eloquent way to put it. We are going to switch over to Geoguessr in a minute, but before we do that, I am going to go get more tea. Because I am thirsty. Hello, I have returned. I guess Nikki is still making her cake. Anyway, I'm gonna turn on Geoguessr. Where's Trey? I wish I knew where Trey was.
Alright, I'm back.
Hello.
Hey, on to part 2, making the frosting.
Frosting is good. As we move on to part 2 of our stream, also.
Yeah, sorry I got super sidetracked there.
It's okay. I went to get some tea, so, like, it was fine.
Like, if
Had a little intermission.
if I'm allowed to talk about myself, I can go on for a little too long.
Oh, no, it's fine. Like, we get into all sorts of topics of varying levels of seriousness and gravity and ridiculousness. All kinds of conversations. Can I join for geoguessing? Would you mind if I brought Win on for geoguessing as well?
No, they're fine.
Like into the voice call, I mean.
Yeah, they're fine.
Alright, let me just pop open the game real quick and get that set up. Do I have a browser capture? I don't actually. I really thought that I did. That's weird. Oh, this is for like plugins and stuff. That's not useful to what I'm doing. Add window capture. Window capture for Chrome. Is that showing up? Maybe?
It's all black for me.
Yeah, I might have to do a display capture instead. That's fine. Just means we'll get a few seconds of entering the infinite real quick.
God, this kills my hands. I need a hand mixer.
Now this is all black too. What the heck? Things are just not wanting to capture today. Display capture. Why is this doing this? What the heck? Well, that's a problem. I see the void. I love clipping. That is a joke that Treadney would appreciate if he was here. Why is this being done? Banner still works. What the heck? Settings. Video. Hey, have you ever had a problem with display capture suddenly not working?
Have you tried window capture?
Yeah, that wasn't wanting to work either. I guess I can try again. Window capture. Like. That's not the one I want. Geoguessr. Yeah, it's just black. Huh. I wonder.
Try bringing it to the top.
Yeah, it is at the top.
Okay, that was my first guess. Is that you had it behind your Elgato capture?
Yeah, I tried that. I wonder if, because earlier I had a problem with it not wanting to capture things because I wasn't running the app in admin mode. Maybe that is the problem. I can try. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to turn the stream off for a second, but I will be right back, you guys. I see your cursor. Yeah, like, I don't know. This is a weird problem, and it's a new one, which means that I don't know how to fix it right off the bat. But I will be back momentarily. You guys watching might have to refresh your Twitch page.
Open broadcasting shit.